So, have you guys ever found the G spot?
Is that you? That's how you're opening it?
Well, yeah, the G spot in Fruitland, Utah. Have you ever found it?
No, I haven't actually.
Because on our way to Vernal, apparently you can visit the G spot in Fruitland, Utah.
Do they show you like how to get there? And like, is it like,
I tried?
because I feel like people could use directions. Okay.
I tried to find it. I couldn't find it. My wife didn't know where it was. And we were just lost.
She didn't intuitively know.
No.
We're in Fruitland, Utah.
No. Yeah. So completely lost. Couldn't find the G spot. So I didn't know. I just wanted to know if you guys knew where the G spot was.
You know, I'm 44 years old and no. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Never.
Well, apparently I'm in good company.
Spencer is surprised by you, Josh. Spencer, he's shocked at the E that we may have just received.
Right out of the gate. And it wasn't even me.
I'm talking about the gas station.
Oh, come and go?
No, that's Maverick now.
Yeah. Wait.
We won't even start talking about their wieners.
This show is in trouble. Wait, the G Spot is a gas station? Is it a franchise or is it one gas station?
I don't know because I didn't find it.
Could you put it up in GPS? Like,
sure. I didn't have a signal. Like when we heard about it, after we heard about it, we're like, oh, we're nearing Fruitland. Maybe we should put it in the GPS.
Although never Google that to find the location. You always have to use Google Maps.
Yeah, it took me to some strange places on Reddit too.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Did it bring up a map of Tarvalon? Show you where the white tower is in regards to Dragon Mount?
You know, that's probably one of the maps that I got. I don't know.
Right now, KP is the only one laughing. Maybe Dave.
Yeah, okay, good. Because Josh and I are like, yeah, Wait,
No,
so was Marianne cracking up? She's like, where is this place?
Yeah, we were kind of giggling like,
yeah,
man, that drive from South Jordan to Vernal is brutal.
Wait, is that where you went?
That's where I was last week. I didn't know exactly where we were going, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I thought that we were going to see, this is how well I know Utah outside of the I-15 corridor. What's the reservoir that's in the armpit of Utah? Flaming Gorge.
Oh,
yes, Flaming Gorge.
That's
okay, maybe that's
Utah.
not. Okay, that's more like the rib cage, maybe. But
no, it's a nice area. It's
well,
not that bad at all.
That area, I'm just talking the armpit, like geographically.
Yeah, geographically. Yeah, I got you.
Yes, I did graduate college, but yeah, like right here, there's your 90-degree angle of Utah,
right?
And then okay, maybe it's not the armpit.
It's like the bicep.
Yeah. Okay. So a stronger part of Utah. See, again, anything outside of I-15 corridor, I know nothing. But that's where I thought we were going, and that was still about 2 hours away from Vernal, but we were actually staying just outside of Vernal, and that's kind of where we went. We went to go to Dinosaur Land. We stayed by a reservoir. We did Vernal things. And
wait, yeah, what's it? Wait, Dinosaur Land in Price? Or Vernal? How close or far are these from each other?
Price is
I also
further
don't know.
south.
Okay.
I know. Yeah. Welcome to I know nothing about Utah.
Yeah.
No. So
to your class.
anything east of like Park City is barren desert land. It's where the skinwalkers roam. It's where Brandon Fugel hires his skeletons. It's not haunted. That's where he kills people.
No, seriously. Like driving through Roosevelt, I looked around like, this is Roosevelt? Like, yeah, of course this place is haunted.
No.
Like this place, there's no green. There's no green. It's all red.
Conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
Not conspiracy theory, because I'm pretty sure this is what happens.
Go on.
The wealthy elite of Utah wants you to think it's haunted, Brandon Fugel, because that's where he goes to hunt humans for sport so he can feel again.
The most dangerous game. Oh, that's not a conspiracy theory. This is proven allegedly.
I mean, I can't prove it, but it feels right.
We can say allegedly.
I mean, yeah,
allegedly.
Because that saves us from libel, right?
Yeah.
But no, seriously, that drive, it's the 3-hour drive, and it's the need to get out of the car like every hour on the hour. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting too old, but like, you know, after an hour, my back hurts. I just want to get out. I just want to find the G spot so that I can relax a little bit. Give my wife a drink,
gosh.
Yeah. Well, it's,
the worst part of this is it's Father's Day. So we've all had like super wholesome days. And Josh is over here like whipping out his map of Reddit.
Okay, but I will say this. I was actually pretty good on the trip because one of the first things my wife told me when we pulled out of our neighborhood, that was a Freudian
We are 12.
slip. That was a Freudian slip. She told me to watch the road rage. I don't have road rage. I talk to the traffic, right?
Yeah.
But to appease her, I decided, okay, I'm going to make sure that I watch it, that I'm going to be on my best behavior. And so what did I do? Every time I wanted to say something to another car who was trying to get over or cut me off or whatever, I just simply changed the, all right, come on over, jackass, to come on over, fellow brethren of Christ. The Lord wants you here. The Lord
My brother
loves
in
you.
Christ.
Yes. And honestly, that was the whole vacation. Even in Vernal, right? There's road rage in Vernal.
Yeah.
Like, I got cut off by this wonderful child of God. And I was giving him the riot act of, how much Jesus loves him, when another car decided to cut this other guy, that cut us off,
Love
right?
it.
So then they were ahead of us, and they started, the car ahead started brake checking the guy who cut us off.
Yeah.
And they're just going back and forth. I'm like, brethren, do not be like Cain and Abel. Love your brother. And then finally they cut off for like 2 seconds, stopped them to make sure they made their point.
Yeah.
And then one went to the neighborhood to the right, and then the other two streets up to the right. And then I turned to Marianne. I'm like, the joke's on them. They live in Vernal.
There's no bad karma when you live in Vernal, because that's your life.
No, that is your life. Like, it's 4 blocks, north, 4 blocks south.
Wow.
Maybe. Well, it's expanding. I
we
guess.
love you. If you live in Vernal, you're listening, by the way.
But
does anybody live in Vernal?
They got a Walmart. They got a pretty big Walmart, and there's dinosaurs.
There's 10,557 people that live in Vernal, Utah.
No, they don't.
They do have some pretty good food. I will say that.
Like what?
There's a Mexican restaurant there that was actually pretty good. We went there on Thursday, which was Marianne's birthday. So we did a birthday dinner there, or lunch, before we left. And they had like authentic enchiladas, tostadas. I had the chimichanga, which was pretty good. Even hamburgers, which my father-in-law ordered. I'm like, you could just go to Del Taco and it'd probably be better.
Double Del cheeseburger.
Oh yeah.
Well,
but it actually was pretty good and pretty authentic.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there was a restaurant called the 7-Eleven restaurant, which is nothing related to 7-Eleven, which would probably be a little bit better.
It's called the 7-Eleven restaurant.
It's called the 7-Eleven.
Do they just
restaurant.
have rollers with taquitos, like steak and cheese?
I wish they actually had. The worst mistake I ever made was on day one when I ordered the Navajo taco.
Oh, Josh, your tummy.
Well, here's the problem: is where we stayed. We stayed in these mini homes.
Okay.
Right off of a reservoir in the Red Fleet State Park.
Josh, those are called motels.
No, they're mini homes. They have a campground. There's no reception. Like, even the TVs are just there for decoration. Like, you couldn't even really use them, which I had no problem with.
Yeah, sure.
But they're mini homes that we shared with my father and mother-in-law and my sister-in-law and nephew. And I felt bad.
How many bathrooms were in this mini home?
1.
Oh, no.
And in the middle of the night, so we had a rule, no number 2 in the mini homes.
How could you
unless
not?
Unless it's in the middle of the night, because there are probably about 200-300 yards from this mini home were some pretty good showers and bathrooms.
Okay.
So you had to use those. They were all individual, great facility. But
okay.
Yeah. And Navajo tacos don't wait for you in the middle of the night.
They don't wait, period. Yeah.
No, they don't wait at all.
And I felt like my in-laws got to know me quite well.
Oh, yeah. They love you. It's fine.
Especially at 3:15 in the morning.
Oh, you poor thing.
And they did have a fan, which, arbitrarily helps.
Yeah.
But I'm the type of person that, you know how this is, Kent. It's somewhat of a stage fright.
Yep.
And so for me, I also have to turn on
the faucet.
Yeah, the faucet or the shower. But I felt like at 3:15 in the morning, you can't do that.
You just hope that people sleep through any sort of noise, and you don't want to wake them up with a shower at that point, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so I just did my best, and I used the pumpkin spice air freshener that my wife scrounged up before we left.
That sounds like you made a bad recipe. That doesn't sound like it would help whatsoever.
No, they need to have a generic air freshener that is not seasonal, because it just ruins every seasonal smell out there, whether it's Christmas, Halloween, 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day. Just give me something that assaults my nostrils.
Yeah.
So I don't have to associate those smells with that other smell.
Hey, Josh, I want you to continue. I know we've got other stuff real quick, but before we get to a big part of the show, I want to tell you guys something that I risked my life this last weekend. And we were talking about armpits of Utah, which I think everyone kind of has their own definition of what they may be. Currents, probably. But I was I was in Ogden on Friday night. And I've always given Ogden a hard time.
That's the knee pit of Utah.
Yeah, well, it's like...
No, that's northern Utah.
It's northern Utah, but it's always been seen as the scary place, but it's not really the scary place at all.
It
just has bad advertisements, essentially. But Spencer, I was on a date, and I was on historic 25th Street, and we have dinner, and we just start walking around, big city hall and all that kind of stuff. And we just end up sitting on these chairs on 25th Street, and time got away from us. We were talking for hours, and I felt safe because it's Ogden. Ogden's great, except for after midnight. After midnight on historic 25th Street is a whole different beast. It's like the purge started.
Kent, that's because the spirit goes to bed at midnight.
And that's probably it.
The Holy Ghost is in bed.
10:30 in Ogden.
So we were there till 1:30 in the morning sitting on these chairs. And we had drunk people falling on us, essentially. And kind of like you're describing, Josh, all these people with road rage. People a bunch of, really great, our brothers in Christ, we'll just say that, almost crashing into each other in trucks, getting out of their trucks right in front of us to fist fight, phones falling on the ground and everything. But there's a cop every 30 feet. A cop was right there, because I think cops just hang out on 25th Street in Ogden.
Are you sure you didn't dine in a movie set or something?
No, it felt like it. It felt like our Universal Studios, how you could just stay on the street and you'll see a movie being filmed. But it was, if we were watching a movie, it was just like White Trash Utah, the movie. It was ridiculous. We ate at Tona.
I'm going to write that.
Yeah, but then, AI will help you. We ate at Tona, but then we just hung out on Ogden, the 25th Street, and it was scary after a bit. Because I don't want to make fun of Ogden, because I work there and everything is good in Ogden. But just don't stay after 12:30, everybody. It's not great. Anyways.
Is that Kent's PSA for the
That's
day?
Kent's PSA. Well, the more you know.
The more you know. Well, speaking of conspiracy theories, Ogden being the best city in
that and the chasing the most dangerous game in Roosevelt.
Allegedly, Brandon Fugel is hunting humans. We do have a guest here to talk more about conspiracy theories. We have our dude on the street, Chad. Let's give him a round of applause.
Woo! What's up, guys?
Hey, Chad.
Be at least somewhat excited, Josh.
Well, I didn't want to go woo because that would just kill the
Listen,
mic and
it's
the
a tepid
audio.
woo. Chad has to earn his big woos, obviously.
Hey, I will say, Josh, I've got a can of each of those pineapple dews I mentioned last time for you. So whenever I can get them to Spencer and get them over to you, I've got a can of the Maui Burst and a bottle of the whatever the 7-Eleven one, Twisted Swirl or something like that.
I wonder if those are available at the G Spot in Fruitland.
I was going to say, speaking of 25th Street in Ogden,
You ask Chad the question.
we've got a dealer over here.
Yeah, Chad, have you found the G Spot in Fruitland?
What are you talking about?
You'll have to listen to the first part of the show to understand the
I
context.
have a feeling. I have a feeling like Chad could find it.
Context for this at all.
Chad, you could find it, especially if they had the right Mountain Dew there.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
No doubt.
For sure.
No doubt. So this week, Chad reached out to us because he has connected all the dots and threaded all the needles. So walk us down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, so this week I got a little bit of free time at work, put on my tinfoil hat and started trying to evaluate that whole Dew-spiracy thing. And I mean, Mountain Dew has had 150 flavors that have been released over its
150?
life, okay, 150. When you include all the hard Dews, the game fuels, all those different ones, right? So I tried to hone in on just the big releases on stuff, and then I started noticing when you go back, there's actually some kind of uncanny connections on stuff.
Uncanny.
So we start out with the OG flavor, regular Mountain Dew.
Before we get into this, I have to ask you. You mentioned the hard juice and all that. What dew are you drinking as you go down the rabbit hole?
This one, so the one I was drinking when I went down the rabbit hole, or the one I'm drinking right
Both.
now. So
Yes.
right now is the Summer Freeze Zero, which is the big promotion that also is kind of an odd fitting one for this month. Every other flavor kind of makes sense why they're releasing it. This is a re-release, which doesn't bode well for things, as we'll see as we get in there. But
so the overall thing, the conspiracy is that when Mountain Dew, maybe coincidentally, decides to release a big promotion, sometimes 4 to 6 months later, something big happens in the world or in the US. And it may be
sometimes even quicker.
Okay. And it may just be a natural disaster or man-made incident, just something unexplained. But this generally happens around a Dew release.
Oh, yeah. And it starts right at the beginning. So the OG Dew dropped in 1948. And in 1948, right around the time it released, there was this odd thing that's called the Denora smog disaster in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So here in Utah, you're all familiar with inversions and, in the winter that just, gives all lung cancer. So this happened in Pennsylvania, which is not usual for that kind of thing. 20 people died from this smog disaster.
What?
Just from low air quality. 20 people died and thousands were impacted by this. So right off the bat, Mountain Dew smog disaster in the Appalachians.
What?
I mean, and when you think of mountains, you think of fresh, clean air.
Yeah. So it keeps going weird. So they didn't release a new flavor for about another 40 years. So 1986 is when they introduced Diet Mountain Dew. And that year is the year of the Chernobyl disaster. Which, what the heck? There's not really much of a connection between those two, Diet Dew and Chernobyl, that I've really been able to connect.
Well, I could try to find a connection. We'll see.
Yeah, it's still kind of uncanny.
Yeah.
And then you have Code Red, which is the big one everyone talks about in 2001. 2001, that one released in the summer. This is where they started releasing in the summer. And September 11th happens just a couple months later. So Code Red, then September 11th.
Okay, this is it's a pretty big thing to say, though.
Oh, it is for sure. Bin Laden could, he got really excited on Code Red. No, edit that one out.
Nope. Allegedly.
The next big one's Livewire, 2003. So Livewire comes out in the summer again. In 2003. In August of 2003, there's the Northeast blackout. So massive power outage that basically turned off all the electricity in New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and there were over 100 deaths that happened.
Wow.
During that blackout.
And how soon after the release did this happen?
Like 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
2 or 3 months. And it just keeps going. I mean, Baja Blast releases, and then a few months later, you had the Indian Ocean tsunami in 2004, 220,000 deaths. You know, the one that had the Matt Damon movie made about it.
It's probably why I don't
Voltage
like that
comes
one.
out the summer of 2008. So summer of 2008, Voltage comes out. That's just a few months before the general financial crisis in 2008.
Yeah.
Is there any correlation? Is there any correlation with like the name of the dew and the disaster?
Some like Baja Blast makes a little sense if you think tropical storms and then you have a tsunami.
Yeah.
Right.
A live wire makes sense with the blackout.
Code Red kind of hits with 2001. Livewire kind of hits with the blackout. The OG flavor matches up. Diet Dew and Chernobyl doesn't match up. Voltage doesn't necessarily match up with anything on that. Goji Berry Citrus, another tropical flavor, hits. And then that same year in 2017, you had Hurricane Harvey, Irma, and Maria that all hit.
Yeah.
Just a couple months after that came out.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest one that's kind of nuts is Voodoo. Well, next to Pitch Black. We'll get to Spencer's favorite flavor here in a minute.
Okay, Voodoo.
Voodoo drops in September and October of 2019. And then November is when the first cases of coronavirus pop up. So a ghost flavored one has the highest body count in this entire thing with its associated disaster, where it lasts through 2024. And then this year is where they're switching it to a non-voodoo flavor that's an official candy tie-in. So they're getting rid of voodoo. But it lasted 5 years, which basically encompasses that whole COVID fiasco that went down.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Wait, they're not doing it this year?
No. It's a Trolley Bright Crawler flavor, and they just announced yesterday that it's going to be zero only, so no sugar version of it.
Okay.
Which should make the disaster even worse.
Yeah.
Since it's just zero.
I would say technically there is a voodoo. They just announced what the candy collaboration was beforehand.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have just gotten rid of the voodoo after like 2021.
So, Chad, here's what I need you to do, unless you've already done it, is who are the executives of Mountain Dew? Who are these decision makers? And are they in the Deluminati, right? Like, is there someone that's kind of messing with us that's like...
They got to be, but I will say Pitch Black is the one that is probably the most damning of all of them. Okay,
go on.
So Pitch Black has been released 4 times. Okay. So 2004, 2011, 2016, and 2023. Okay. Not much correlation here with the flavor name, but it's odd the connection with the type of disasters that we run into.
Okay.
So 2004 was the Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami.
Yeah.
So big earthquake and the tsunami. Same time as Baja Blast. 2011, when it re-released, was the Japanese earthquake and tsunami that killed 18,000 people and set off the Fukushima power plant.
Right.
2016 is the Kumamoto, Japan earthquake and an Ecuador earthquake that happened about the exact same time right after that release. And then in 2023, you had the Turkey, Syria earthquake, which had over 55,000 deaths.
What? Doesn't it kind of blow you away that this many people have died in natural disasters like that as well?
Well, what's crazy too is none of these natural disasters would even rank on top 10 natural disasters of the 20th century.
Oh, that's another show. That's a show altogether.
That's a whole nother show.
Yes.
That's a fun rabbit hole to go down.
Holy cow. So this is crazy. I mean, I love it, obviously.
I want to see your blackboard.
Uh-huh.
Like I can just picture like beautiful
all the strings tied together.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's just Pepe de Silvia all over the place.
Yeah,
Josh.
exactly. There we go.
Yeah.
So is there a community, like obviously Spencer, you've talked about this, Chad, you've started your infographic. Is there a community that believes this? Is there a community that maybe watches the new Dew flavors and goes, okay, be aware, something may come out? Yeah.
I think very tongue-in-cheek.
Okay.
I think very tongue-in-cheek on that. So this year is odd because we have like 7 new flavors that are releasing this year that we went into, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of people trying to tie Baja Midnight. There was a giant blackout that happened in Spain and Portugal just about the time they announced that one.
Okay.
But that one has
Spanish name and a blackout. I mean, it's pretty conclusive.
Yeah, that one hasn't released yet.
Allegedly.
The one that I've kind of said to people because I think it's funny is, you've got Summer Freeze. So this is the thing. These flavors all kind of make sense how they were released except for Summer Freeze, right? So all of them have a tie-in to a restaurant or a store where they're replacing an exclusive.
Yeah.
The one that doesn't have that to it is Summer Freeze, right? So Baja Midnight's a Taco Bell exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
You have Dragon Fruit, that is a Walmart exclusive, a Honeydew that's a Maverick exclusive, a Mango that is a Little Caesars exclusive. Summer Freeze is general and also is fitting into a window that the Baja variants usually take
Okay.
up. And it's a re-release, which they don't do very often.
Yeah.
So the thing I've been telling people that's really tongue-in-cheek is it's Summer Freeze, and it released last week in early June, and you've had the ice riots that have been happening.
Absolutely. Very controversial time for anything chilly.
Which is funny, and I think it's, Summer Freeze, ice, funny tie-in on that, but
I mean,
that's more tongue-in-cheek. I think most of it's tongue-in-cheek.
What?
I love this. I am fully subscribed.
They've got 150 flavors. So, 150 flavors, you're going to have some correlation. But it's weird that all the major flavors have had this.
So next time we go get a Mountain Dew from, the fountain drinks or 20 ounce, if we choose a favorite, we should know the natural disaster that one caused. Like I drink, every time I go get a fountain drink right now, I go about a third voltage and the rest Diet Dew. So... yeah.
Basically, Kent, drink responsibly.
I just want to know if there's a Mayan calendar or in the Mayan calendar, if, it was supposed to end in 2012, but if there was a correlation with a liquid of a drink and Mountain Dew has kind of followed the course.
The nectar of the gods.
Yeah, and they've somehow corrupted this liquid into soda, branded it a certain way, and it corresponds with a giant disaster.
I think you just added an extra wall to Chad's, room.
I am so down with it, with getting the yarn.
I need to go back and tie Mountain Dew into human sacrifice by the
absolutely.
Mayans.
I love this.
Oh, man.
How long do you need for us to have you back on the show? What, 2 weeks?
Until another Mountain Dew and another bad thing happening in the world? Yeah.
I'll go talk to my Dew Insider, which I don't have, by the way. This is all pure ADHD, unadulterated.
We're a
ADHD
podcast. You don't have to admit that.
So, Chad, since you're a dude on the street, what's the best and the worst Dew variant in the past 5 years? Not Voodoo included.
Yeah, my best probably would have been the Pink Starburst Voodoo, if you ask me that. But I'd say Maui Burst.
Maui Burst?
Maui Burst is my favorite, which is one of the pineapple ones.
That was a good one. It was a really good one.
Yeah, that one's still an exclusive at Dollar General. There are 2 in Salt Lake that have it. None of the rest of them have it. So, and you will feel like 25th Street at midnight going into those places.
Yeah, you've definitely found the G spot for sure. Josh, you were just going there. I can see your face.
You read my mind.
Yeah. The worst variant is Major Melon Zero.
Yes,
I agree.
I will die on that hill.
Hated it.
That is the worst flavor.
It was like a salty watermelon. It was disgusting. It was like you dropped a Jolly Rancher into salt and then ate it.
Yeah.
And this is including flavors like Flaming Hot, Fruit Quake.
Snap.
The worst is Major Melon.
Ginger Snap cookie flavored Dew.
Yep.
As long as Mountain Dew doesn't go down the route that Dr. Pepper did with the blackberry crap. That stuff was medicinal.
It's still there. It's still
horrible.
Quite popular.
How?
That's gross.
That Maverick, they have it in
Dew's fixation with cherry.
Yeah.
They put cherry everything.
There's a conspiracy there in itself. They should do a coconut Mountain Dew.
They did.
Oh,
a couple of them.
Were they gross?
Baja Flash was actually a pina colada Dew, and it was amazing.
It was really good.
It's probably the best of the Baja variants.
Huh.
Very strong coconut flavor.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. Yeah.
I think I liked Baja Gold a little bit better than Baja Flash. Baja Flash was up there.
Yeah, I go the other way. Baja Flash was like a pina colada. Baja Gold was like kind of a ripe pineapple, which a lot of people really like.
Do you have like a spreadsheet of like tiering these flavors? Because I know we've talked to you on Baconsale about it, like how we could do a Mountain Dew taste test, and there's no way because it's like sometimes they exist, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's a short time, sometimes it's only at Dollar General. It's so hard to actually compare and contrast.
I wish you had told me this.
Well, I've been secretly. Oh, go ahead, Spence.
I was gonna say I wish they had said this before I switched my last job because when I got let go, I gave away my entire Dew collection to the guys at work.
You did?
Because I just didn't want to carry it home. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I live right there. I would have been like, I'll be right there.
Yeah.
Well, and Spencer had ones like this too. This is like the holy grail, which you won't find around anymore.
Oh my gosh!
But this is
you both
Baja Deep Dive.
You both have a can of this purple.
Welcome to the other show and tell.
This is so funny. I love that. Yep. So here's okay. To describe what just happened, we're all sitting here. Chad, you were about to talk about like the Holy Grail. You reach up on your shelf. I think you opened a locked cabinet, and you blew up the dust like it belongs in a museum. And you show this can, literally Spencer at the same time, just from the side of his desk, grab the same can. You guys are whack.
We had to drink a lot of Mountain Dew to win that one.
I'm hoping the Baja Midnight is this exact flavor. So this is Baja Deep Dive. Yeah. You could only get it by winning a sweepstakes from Mountain Dew. And it's impossible to do in Utah because Utah, the bottler for Utah is Admiral Beverage. And they've kind of got an exclusive over the market to where Mountain Dew can't sell stuff directly to people.
What?
Here. And so a lot of sweepstakes we get cut out of. But Spencer and I managed to somehow get on the list for the sweepstakes. Where we both won a box.
Guys, I know you went to Evanston and you bought some fireworks and Baja Deep Dive. It's okay.
They went for the Mountain Dew, not the fireworks.
Yeah.
You joke, but when they sold the Voodoo like variety pack, I had to put in Josh's address.
What?
To order it.
I do remember when you did that. Now that makes sense. I feel used.
Yeah, I managed to get 2 boxes of it randomly, and then it wouldn't let Spencer do it right afterwards. But this Baja Deep Dive, right after it released, those cans were selling for $50 a pop.
What?
And I think you tried one, Kent. I brought that to I do drop at Baconsale.
Wait, did we drink that one? You gave us a $50 can of soda?
Yeah.
That's the classiest thing that Baconsale's ever done.
It's so true.
I think Chad meant to say it goes for $50 a soda, not $50 a pop.
Hey, it's regional, Utah. Spencer. It's regional.
Yeah. I mean, I've been secretly plying the Baconsale guys with Mountain Dew to trick them into doing a Mountain Dew episode.
Listen, someday, but like to get it side by side, we'd only be able to do 15 flavors instead of the 150.
I mean, I've secretly been giving you guys
yeah, but how much? Yeah, so over the span of 7 years, Chad. Come on. Okay, well, this is great. I love this so much. Keep working on it. All right. And I hate to say that because I feel like the more you look into it, I'm worried about your life. I'm worried that the Deluminati will come and find you. And so, yeah, take care of yourself.
They're named after me. So
yeah.
Apparently, I'd watch out for that Admiral Beverage.
It's true.
Sounds like
he's the guy.
Shady individual, but he probably knows where the G spot is.
Lucky.
I'm ashamed to know you two.
All right, Chad, we'll let you go, but thank you for being the dude on the street. We'll see. And listen, every time there's a new flavor, let us know.
Will do.
Okay. See you, Chad.
Either that or we just need to validate him every time there's a natural disaster.
Yeah, be like, what came out? Something crazy happened. Did anything happen with the Dew world?
Yeah. I guess we're going to have to wait for the summer
Anything
freeze.
Dew in the world?
Oh, my gosh.
The one thing that I thought of, too, though, with the summer freeze, I'm like, yes, there's the riots, but, man, it's been a hot summer.
Yeah.
And what if, that is like all of a sudden there's a shift and there's a freeze during the summer? Ice Age. Another Ice Age, I'm telling you.
Another Ice Age movie, which is just as apocalyptic.
Yeah. By the way, we do have a phone call if you want to take that.
Let's go to it for sure.
Hey, I didn't even make it through the full show. Oh, this is KP. I didn't even make it through the full show before I had to call and respond. Kent, I feel your pain because Spencer's been trying to get us all to go camping for a while now. And I keep explaining to him that I love all of the stuff that he's talking about. Sitting around the campfire, going on hikes, being out in the wilderness. It is something I dearly love. I will not camp anymore. I have done my time. I have been in scouting for years. I've done my time. I now will camp only in a lodge, maybe a cabin. If it's a super high-end glamping spot, maybe I would consider that. But no, I am not going to be sleeping in no sleeping bag, on some cot, even an airbed or whatever, No. I want running water. I want a comfortable bed, and then I can go have all the nice outdoor stuff. Josh, I want to bring you into this because where's that T-shirt that I brought up and you said, I need that on a T-shirt? I love the outdoors. Camping sucks. Make that T-shirt now. Thank you very much. Bye.
KP, I didn't really have the best endorsement for small homes out in the wilderness just a few minutes ago, but I will say that was a game changer for me. Having all the amenities out in the great outdoors, being able to go just a few feet outside to go do the campfire stuff. There was water stuff to do. We went hiking and cliff jumping, whatever. That was a lot of fun. And we were able to come back, take a shower, sleep in comfort, because I hate camping. I hate laying on the ground.
Oh, okay.
Again, this goes back to my bad back, probably. But
what about this? What if you had a bunk bed cot to sleep on? You pick top or bottom. What about that, Josh?
Well, I always choose top bunk.
Okay. I guess I'm doing bottom bunk for this cot because Spencer has signed us up for camping, the two of us.
Why?
And he's got...
And I do have bunk cots.
Sorry, Josh. This is what you got volunteered for when you weren't here last week. He's so mad.
Making bacon pancakes.
Are we going to Cherry Hill?
Pancakes.
Cherry Hill camping.
Making bacon pancakes. Making pancakes.
Did you say pancakes or man cakes? Because
listen,
both sound unsettling to me.
Both.
You did choose top, so we're making man cakes.
No, we're not going to Cherry Hill. I mean, the furthest we would go would be a fishing trip in Wyoming.
Flushable toilet?
No.
No.
You have to dig your own pit.
No, I can't. I can't do that. I did that once in Scouts.
Yeah.
And I ended up pooping my pants.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the whole Pioneer Trek where that was a close disaster to pooping my pants again.
What about vault toilets?
What's that?
The pit?
It just drops in a pit.
Oh no, those. Oh no, that's when I start just gagging because my gag reflex is horrible.
If they're maintained, you can't smell a thing.
Which means basically that the person who comes and sucks up the poo just came 5 minutes ago.
No.
Because let's be honest, it takes one trip to those things to stink them up for everybody else.
No, if you have a well-maintained one and the people are responsible in front of you and leave the lid down, it doesn't stink up.
Yeah, but you have to
Are
lift
they
up
eating
the lid.
Navajo tacos?
I'm sorry. I have an irrational fear of the chasm below those toilets. I think they're...
Just because you are a habitual poop texter does not mean the rest of us need to leave it fair.
There are goblins in there that will pull me down.
Poop goblins.
My fear is always snakes or sandworms.
Sandworms for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the sandworm variety of worms that you need to be worried about.
Yeah, you, Spencer, you're not selling camping. You're not even trying.
I'm not trying to sell camping because you guys don't have a choice. You both have flaked on my planning meetings every month for the better part of a year.
Yeah,
I am cashing in.
I mean, he does control the Patreon funds.
Listen, then get us some small homes, the little homes.
Yes.
The mini homes.
No.
Called motels.
What do you look like, Merry and Pippin? No. You're not getting a little hole in the hill, okay?
Wait.
Mr. Underhill.
Better get second breakfast.
You will get second breakfast.
Okay.
When you camp with me, we are not going to be hitting the trails all day. We're going to wake up. We're going to eat breakfast. Then we're going to have second breakfast. We'll lounge around a little bit, maybe hit up the lake, have lunch. Then we're going to have second lunch. And then we're going to have a little snack before dinner.
No.
And then we'll have dinner.
Okay. No, I'm calling you a hypocrite right here because for your vault bathrooms, you're saying if they maintain, the people who use them maintain it and use it wisely and properly, then it doesn't stink. You're talking about first and second breakfast, first and second lunch.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you're going to talk about first and second dinner. Do you know how many poop trips that is?
And s'mores.
That's not eating and s'mores. Hershey chocolate?
Hold up. No.
I'll bring Tums. I'll bring you some Tums.
There's no first and second dinner. There's dinner and supper.
just going to eat a lot of cheese so I don't have to go.
This is going to go poorly. And he wants us to go for 3 days, 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
No, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go overnight. And by overnight, I mean, I'm out of there by 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's not overnight. That's not even staying.
He's scared.
If you leave at 1 in the morning, you're not getting bacon pancakes.
The ghost goes to bed.
The Holy Ghost goes to bed, but real ghosts don't. Real ghosts actually wake up at midnight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they start making rock piles, like the Blair Witch.
What if we take other Kenny and do UFO looking at the same time? He'll take care of you.
Listen, there can be only one. I'm not spending time with other Kenny. All right.
I mean, you're Ken.
Actually, that's the whole point of the camp out is so there's only one.
No.
We leave with 2, come home with 1.
We fight to the death.
Highlander.
I mean, that could be entertaining, but he did serve in the military. So
I'm a dirty fighter.
True.
I used to wrestle when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Polynesian, Italian, former military.
Yeah. Lanky.
And backyard wrestler.
Lanky backyard wrestler. Named the spelling bee.
But you did serve your mission in Australia, so you know how to pick out deadly animals. So there's definitely a power right there.
Pretty sure he keeps some in his back pocket.
I got bit by a flesh-eating spider, okay? And survived.
Kenny likes Pokemon, so...
The other one, right?
Dude, no.
Not me.
Maybe, okay, I mixed up my kids.
I was like, they're all right. They're okay. Yeah, sorry, Josh. Yeah, I love that KP's like, I love all of this, but he's graduated. And I feel like a lot of us have graduated from camping.
Yeah, like I graduated the day that I got my Eagle Scout. Okay, no, I mean, I was a Boy Scout. My mom got my Eagle Scout.
Same.
Same thing. I'm done. Like, no more camping other than mini homes.
Okay, but
and I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, for the Navajo tacos.
If we were forced to go, Josh, would Marianne allow you? Would she say, go for it? Would she want to hear the stories? Actually,
as long as I don't drag her along with me, she'll be fine with it.
Oh, does she hate it more?
Oh, yeah. I kind of felt bad because she's not very outdoorsy.
Yeah.
And we did do some hiking. We actually went hiking on her birthday. And it wasn't a bad hike. It was about a 3.5 mile hike round trip.
Okay.
But it got a little hot and like she flipped a lot of people off during that trip.
And she gets mad about your road rage?
I mean, I don't call out the issues there because
it's best not to. There's no winning.
No, there is no winning. But honestly, like I did feel bad because we did drag her along with her, but we did take her out to for Mexican food afterwards, which made up for it. But and then I got heat exhaustion afterwards as well and started peeing blood. But it was a fun trip.
Not good.
It was a fun trip.
So fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Anyway.
So, what did you guys do for Father's Day?
Oh, we're gonna end on a positive note. Okay. Yeah. By the way, Josh, I really like your post. I thought it was really sweet. Like it was like, if you don't follow Josh on Facebook, maybe I'll allow you to explain it. But just talked about the abundance that you've been given in life, and it, kind of like there's a collage of pictures of the nieces and nephews that you have, and I was like, that's pretty awesome.
Thank you, because I know that a lot of people struggle not being a dad, or maybe not having a dad figure out there.
And people may only say like a literal congratulations to people that have kids, right? Yeah. And sometimes it's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm over here then, but it's not. There's just so much nuance to it.
Yeah, and I've just really felt blessed having 21 nieces and nephews that it's just been fun to be able to lean into what they like and what they enjoy, and being able to kind of be that bonus dad or whatever you want to call it, where you can give them a little bit extra time and with their hobbies. And I don't know, honestly it's been a fun day because I just got back from my family dinner, and I had all the nieces and nephews fill out this all about my uncle.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, like one of them said that I was 20 years old.
Oh, okay.
And they all said that he laughs when I do something funny. I love ice cream. I don't know, it was just cute because like I have a saying that I always tell the kids whenever I see it, like whenever I leave, I'll always say, see you in the funny pages.
Yeah.
Which was something that one of my uncles said to us all the time.
Yeah.
And so just say it's a roundabout way to say, I love you for me. And so that's what all of them said. And they're like, see you in the funny pages. And I just think
that's cool.
I just think, to them, I'm like, that they're never going to understand what a funny page is now,
sure, but they'll remember that you said it. I think it's more of the sentiment behind it.
But no, it's just it's been a fun day to be able to celebrate it. So what about you, Kenny? Did you
it was amazing. I slept in. I did some editing. I played some video games because I didn't have my kids this weekend, which, by the way, is the best way to spend Father's Day. Because I was just like, oh, this is awesome. I did some lunch, whatever. And then I got my kids for a couple hours. We did dinner, and that was perfect. They made me cards, got me some candy. It was super cute. And then after like 3 hours, I was like, okay, go back with your mom. I love you so much. Because it's just one of those days where I think it, no matter how you spend it, it should be a little relaxing for you and enriching as well. But yeah, Spencer, what about you?
Definitely enriching. I got to sleep in for the first time in a long time today. And when I was woken up, Hazel, we've learned that her love language is gift giving.
Okay.
100%. So she woke me up with a card she had made that morning.
Love it.
I have no idea what it means, but it's special because she made it. And then at church, we got popcorn.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
like anything special? The popcorn. I always love judging church treats.
No, just a bag of popcorn.
We got a giant
to put in the microwave.
homemade Oreo, like the Whoopie Oreo.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Spencer's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, low key, not a fan of those.
Really?
They're not Oreos. They're not Oreos.
I know. I think it's just because it's the easiest.
Don't call them Oreos. No, they're whoopie pies.
Then don't force us to go camping.
No, that has nothing to do with this.
We won't call Oreos anymore.
Fine, I can not die on that hill. You can call them Oreos all you want. I just won't.
Dang it.
You're going camping.
Play this game.
And then I came home. I cooked myself an amazing steak, probably the best steak I've made in a long time.
Okay.
And I made what Hazel dubbed Grandpa Pie.
Go on.
Oh.
And it is divine. So I made a yellow cake, but I made it super moist by using pudding instead of milk. And banana pudding, to be exact. Little chunks of banana in the banana pudding.
Oh my gosh.
And then I cooked the cake, and then I cut the cake in half, and then melted some chocolate, put the chocolate over. So you have cake, chocolate, banana pudding, cake, banana pudding.
That's a parfait.
Chocolate.
Like a cake parfait.
And then some crushed Oreos.
Oh,
in
like the ones Josh is talking about. I get it. So this is like a banana pudding trifle then, like a yellow cake trifle.
Yeah. Oh, kind of. But then you put that in the freezer, so the chocolate's hard.
Oh my goodness!
So it's like it's got like crunch to it.
Why have you? Is this a new thing, or is this something you need to share with us? This Grandpa Pie.
We invented it today.
Okay, I love it.
That actually sounds really good. This might be a conversation for another day, but one thing that I actually have enjoyed doing is putting a bunch of ingredients into ChatGPT, and they will find a recipe or some way to incorporate everything into.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Into that. So yeah. I'd love to test some of these.
Yeah.
I actually want to try that pie cake thing.
Well, happy Father's Day to everyone, and
I'll bring some camping.
Oh, geez, this is bribery. All right. With all that said, thanks for joining us once again, Chad. Thank you for being our dude on the street. Josh, take us out.
You've just listened to The Other Show with Kent Dunn, Josh Hansen, and Spencer Myers. The Other Show is a Fat Squirrel production. Show design and audio editing is done by me, Josh Hansen. Sales and business manager is Spencer Myers, and resident sex appeal by none other than Kent C. Dunn. The Other Show is generously supported by our friends on Patreon. A huge thank you to our Friends with Benefits tier. These friends are contributing a minimum of $25 a month, which in return comes with some rather significant benefits, including the weekly off-the-cuff episodes of The Other Show, monthly bonus episodes, quarterly access to a live stream recording of an episode of The Other Show, and exclusive swag and perks. A huge thank you to our favorite Brit, Jonathan Baskar, the lovely and talented Mrs. Robinson, the one and only Chris Anderson, Brandon from Popfly Cards, Lady Terry A. Finley, the proud Disney mom, Tanya Budge, the other Keith Brown, it's Rick, not Dick, Smith, Dave, and everyone's favorite Melanie Milring. To support The Other Show on Patreon, visit patreon.com/The Other Show to join. Please rate, review, and subscribe to The Other Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or wherever podcasts are found. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. To better connect with us and other fans of The Other Show, join our Facebook group, The Other Group. For links to past episodes, our other shows, and to shop for show swag, visit our website at theother.show. And remember, when you're not listening to me here on The Other Show, you can listen to me on the Fartlek Running podcast show.
You can hear me on my other show, Baconsale.
And you will find me hiding on private lands in Roosevelt.
He found the G-spot!
Pulled out of South Jordan, spirits high, tank full of gas. Heard there's a legendary place, a pit stop with some class. They call it the G-spot, somewhere in Fruitland, Utah, next to nowhere, USA. If you ask the locals, they just laugh and say you'll never get that far, my friend. I've doubted them once, but now, maybe no more. It was then the Marianne looked sideways and asked, wait, why are we here again? Typed it in the GPS, but it just gave me dead ends. No signs, no clues, just sagebrush and regret. And now I'm 44, and I haven't found it yet. Maybe I never will. Still can't find the G-spot. I've searched 100 times. I asked my wife, I asked the map, I even said a quick little prayer, but I got nothing and nowhere to go. What am I even looking for? It's playing hide and seek somewhere off Highway 40's lonely road. Does it exist? Is it even real? I wish I knew. I thought it was a gas station, or maybe a little dirty joke, but I couldn't find the blasted spot. No signs, no pumps, just Yelp reviews that claim first time success. We had chased a legend and came away disappointed once again. No signal, no service, just Fruitland in the rear view mirror. Marianne loudly sighed and said we should have stayed home and watched the Golden Girls. She thought it was silly, I thought it was fate. Once again we're lost, just this time in the desert and an hour too late. Still can't find the G-spot. Is it a myth or a mirage? It's not in Roosevelt, not in Vernal, maybe it's just camouflage. Looked into Marianne's eyes, didn't know what to say. I blame the mixed signs and even the GPS, my masculine pride, an all-time low as I sit in silence, whispering, where'd you go? Why can't I find you? Still can't find the G-spot, but maybe that's okay. We still can't find the G-spot. Where are you hiding? We may never find the G-spot. It wouldn't be the end of the world. What a ride it was, just searching for the G-spot. That small little place in a spot so elusive. Because honestly, what exactly is the G-spot?